being a black sheep in your family is your superpower. Hi honey, welcome back to my channel. It feels super weird to say that I am back because I've said that multiple times in the past before, but you guys, I'm back. Maybe not with the exact posting schedule as before. However, since this video is so based off creativity and sparking creativity back into your life, I myself as a creative person is literally holding myself back accountable to posting on YouTube, even if that means that I'm only posting every 2 weeks or every 2 times a month. Right now in my head, I'm like, that's not enough. How is that even gonna be serving my audience? I'm not giving them what they want. That is the exact schedule that works for me at this current moment in my life. You know, different seasons require different things, and this is just where I'm at right now, okay? I realize I can't do more than that because I'm also posting on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm also running a small business again, which we'll get into. We'll get into that. I've been thinking on how to rewire my mind after growing up in survival mode. I realized that I have to embrace being a creative person and following the creativity sparks that I get. I realize that I can't keep neglecting what I feel my true calling is, which part of it involves YouTube. And so realization number 1 regarding this topic and in this video is that creative people need an outlet or else you're gonna be super freaking miserable. I'm re-emphasizing the topic again when it comes to YouTube because that has been such a huge block for me. I'm like, oh, 2 times a month is not enough. You know, maybe you can't do 4 times a month, which would be every week, but maybe you could aim for 2 times a month. And the fact that I have this negativity, the little labubu in my mind, that's what I call like any negative thought or any negative force. People love to call the labubus demons. And so in my mind, I remember talking to my little brother the other day and he didn't want to do his homework. And you know, just as he was literally about to finish his homework, he said, my hands hurt. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Oh my god, I'm so sleepy. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. I'm like, don't let the labubus win. That's also the same conversation that I'm trying to apply to myself. Like, please do not let the labubus win when it comes to you not showing up and acting upon your creativity, because you know that if you don't, you're not happy and you're literally watching everyone else do what they want to do and you're constantly thinking to yourself, oh, but like I want to do that. And the only thing that's getting in the way of me doing that is me thinking that showing up 2 times a month is not enough to serve my audience. And it's like, I'm not just doing this to serve my audience. I also am doing this because I need to serve myself. Creative people have to serve themselves. As I said, if you don't, you're gonna be miserable. You're constantly going to be complaining, oh my god, I'm so bored. Oh my god, I'm so unhappy. Oh my god, I feel so unfulfilled. But that is exactly why. I also wanted to mention that it's not just about the posting schedule. Mindset shift that I really want to teach myself and to also like unlearn in a way to get myself out of survival mode is that I'm not doing my creativity to please others and to just help others. Yes, that is an advantage, that's a benefit, that's a plus. But my creativity and my job ends as soon as I finish editing this video and I press post, because I don't know how my creativity or my thoughts is going to be perceived by the public, and to put that much pressure on myself and also on other people just isn't fair to my creativity. My job is to listen to that internal antenna that's like, oh, you should create a YouTube video on this, and I should be like, oh my god, yeah, I should totally do that because I'm interested, because it's sparking curiosity, because that's just what I'm following based off intuition, right? Not because I'm doing it solely for the purpose of serving others. That just goes back to the elements of being a people pleaser, and that's not what I want. Yes, serving others is a plus of content creation and showing my creativity in this way, but it's not the sole purpose, because the sole purpose is to also make myself happy. Acting upon my creative instincts is exactly how I get my nervous system out of survival mode, and you are very much important, so always consider yourself first. Realization number 2 is that you need to act upon your weird ideas before they go to someone else. And hear me out. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned regarding creativity is that creativity is more like an energy and not just a thought, if that makes sense. Basically a thought that matches the same vibration as you whenever it needs to be birthed to life. And if you don't act upon that thought that's coming to you like, hey, this is an idea, you should probably do it, it is most likely gonna be sent to somebody else because you're not the only one thinking of the same thing. And I feel like that's also like a mind fuck. for the lack of better words. You think of these ideas and you think that you're being so unique, and yet it's exactly what somebody else launches or something that somebody else says through passing. That's something that I have learned reading Big Magic. Also by watching a video from Michael Jackson when he was talking in an interview, I believe. Michael Jackson in one of his interviews was basically saying that whenever he gets a song idea, even if he's sleeping, even if it comes to him in a dream, he wakes up, he gets up, and he starts recording right there and then, because he feels like if he doesn't act upon that thought, that melody, that song, that lyric that came to his mind, then it's going to be passed on to Prince. And I just thought that was so interesting, because that's an amazing way to put it into perspective for you. An idea is basically energy that's matching your frequency in order to be birthed to life. And if it's not being birthed to life by you, it's going to be birthed to life through someone else. You're not the only creator that's able to bring this idea to life. There's plenty, there's so many manifestors in this world, there's so many creators in this world. And that doesn't necessarily mean that just because you get a great idea that you're meant to bring it to life. Maybe you're meant to bring it up to someone else, and maybe they're meant to bring it to life. You have to be very discerning and trust your intuition when it comes to that. But yeah, trust and act upon those weird ideas, because that weird idea that I once got during the summer, and I was in Florida, I remember. I woke up from a dream and it was basically spirit telling me to sell the tea that I was drinking at the moment, because I was seeing so much improvement when it came to my skin, my PCOS. I was literally seeing so much improvement in my hormonal acne. I was sleeping better at night. If you don't know, I'm a Dominican girlie with PCOS, and finding a solution for that has been the most difficult thing I probably have ever had to adjust to, because my whole life has had to change because of it, my whole lifestyle. Even though I was in a moment in time where I did not want anything to do with my small business, because I used to sell skincare and I just felt like it wasn't aligning with who I am anymore. And also my skin had changed so much, so nothing was improving until I started finally working through it internally through tea. And that weird thought led me to me running my business again, and here we are. I also want you to think of you acting upon your creative weird ideas as like a little muscle, because it's not perfect every single time. Not every idea you're meant to bring to life, but the one that you're discerning enough to know that this is what your next chapter looks like, or this is what you should be doing, or whatever. Think of it as a muscle that you practice. It's something that ebbs and flows from time to time. I genuinely feel like the more you practice that muscle, the less you will feel blocked when it comes to that, and the more ideas will come to you very freely, very sparingly. And it is an even more amazing way to act out of a grounding energy versus to create out of survival mode. Realization number 3 is that being a black sheep in your family is your superpower. My parents heavily influenced what I wanted to do within my career. Growing up and having the realization that like, maybe I don't want what my parents want for me. Coming from a Hispanic household, if you're Dominican, then you know that's not taken very lightly. Going against everything that your parents want for you is not the norm. But I think that I've learned to embrace it, because trusting my intuition and following my creativity has led to so many beautiful paths that I've gotten to experience, such as opening my small business, creating a community online, and helping people, and also like serving my creativity along the way and serving my life purpose along the way. That brings me a lot of joy and it makes me feel very fulfilled. Tried getting a 9-to-5 that, you know, brought me stable income instead of like running my small business in order to make them happy and not feel like I'm just like sitting on my ass and posting silly little videos online, because I feel like what they see from their end is like, oh, like, yeah, she just records a video and she posts it, and I'm like, yeah. And it's like, that's not how it works. I have to come up with a video idea, I have to journal, I have to self-improve. Like, there's so much that goes behind it. I have to be disciplined, I have to be delusional, I have to literally be delusional to be where I'm at and to do what I do. And do you know how hard that is? Because they're also acting upon survival mode and they just want something safe for you. You know how hard that is, and they don't see that. I've learned to let that go. I've learned the hard way to let all of that go and to let go of that shame of being the black sheep, of not wanting to go the traditional path or not wanting to pursue exactly what my parents want me to pursue, and just doing the exact opposite and being like, this is what I am, this is what I bring to the table, and this is what I'm doing. Might throw a fit because I'm following my intuition, but one thing that they've learned the hard way as well is that I always end up being right. When I follow my gut and I follow that curiosity and I follow my creativity to lead me exactly where I want to go, I don't fail. I always go a step further in life versus when I try to do exactly what my parents want me to do, like get a job, vamos a decir, right? I could be there for a couple of months and then that chapter leaves me exactly back to square one, which is this. So it's like, why delay myself of all the progress that I could be making in entrepreneurship and content creation, following my path, following what I love to do, just because I'm trying to people please and make others feel safe in a way? Them seeing me have a 9 to 5 is almost like me reaffirming to them that I'm doing the right thing, that they raised me right, and that they're seeing their hard work finally being paid off because I'm doing exactly what they want me to do. And it's like, that's not necessarily how it works for me in my life. And me embracing that and me following my intuition and trusting my gut and being crazy or at least I feel crazy, you guys. Like, I feel crazy sometimes. It has paid off in so many beautiful ways. And one thing I will say is that it is very difficult to do the hard work now and trusting your gut now, knowing that the future is going to be very rewarding because you're doing the hard part now, versus it being the opposite where you do the easy part now and you're people pleasing, you're doing things just to make others happy and to be complacent and this and that, to feel safe, and then doing the hard work later where you had to unlearn everything and start from zero again because you feel unfulfilled and you're not happy. Being the black sheep, doing the hard work now, and also reframing that mindset of feeling guilty for asking for my parents' help in a way. But a little mindset shift that I have taught myself is that I'm not going to have another opportunity like this as an adult later on when I'm getting older. And the older you get, the more you kind of have to get your shit together. And I'm not gonna have another opportunity like this where I get to live with my parents and build my small business and really give it my all and at least try. If I don't try, I will never know, and I always wonder what if, because yeah, later on I won't have that luxury. So instead of sitting down and sitting here and feeling so guilty over being the black sheep and oh my god, this how other people do it on TikTok, have God looking at me like, girl, I literally made you like this for a reason. I made you like this because of what you want. You know what I mean? Who you are is your superpower, and don't ever let somebody else convince you otherwise. I feel like I've been a little bit all over the place in this video because I'm a little bit shy and I'm a little bit nervous to be talking on camera again. I'm really trying hard not to let the labubus win. Well, I personally have my parents not fully understanding why I do what I do, or maybe in your case it's not your parents, maybe in your case it's your friends, your colleagues, other people looking from the outside in, or maybe even your own personal labubus in your mind trying to set you back. One thing I've also learned the hard way is that I can't control what other people think of me, but I can control how I think of me and what I can do about it. And that's one of the major ways I've been shifting my mindset, even while growing up with people that are still in that survival mode, and still being able to bring back creativity back into my life. You know those quotes on Instagram or TikTok, they say something around the lines of, oh, when somebody tells me their ideas, I help them dream bigger and I help breathe life into them even brighter. I feel like that's exactly how I am towards other people. And one of the ways that I have helped myself to get out of that survival mode and to help my nervous system feel safer is by also being that person to myself. Whenever I have an idea that comes to me, I'm like, yeah, girl, like you should totally do that. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, you thought of that. You thought of that because you're that girl. Like, you're creative, you're so abundant, you're so magical. I have learned to really appreciate all aspects and all forms that make me me. But anyways, this is the end of my video. I am so sorry if it was like all over the place. I really hope that you at least resonated with one part of this video or something from this video. Of course, every single detail that I gave won't exactly apply to your life because our lives are different. Embrace that as well. Having different lives is how we're able to help each other grow and maneuver things differently, etc., etc. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you soon. Bye.